Welcome back, better investors, to the BI Breakdown. Today I have with me Nick Dennis. Nick is a fellow classmate. We attended the same school. We went to the same school here inside of Greenville, South Carolina, Legacy Charter School. It looks a lot different from when we were going, right? But I have Nick with me today, and we're a part of some things outside of just what I do here. And I'm excited for him to share his story, who he is, how he knows me and the banking bros. And so before we go any further, Nick, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
For sure. So my name is Nick Dennis, and like you said, we went to school together, and that's pretty much that's how we met originally. And a little bit about myself is, I was always that different kid in school, expressing myself at a young age. So it doesn't surprise me that we full circle back here. So that's just a little bit about me. Do a little bit of everything, and it's popular now to say, but got the entrepreneurship skill and passion. So that's what it is.
Cool. And I know also too, you told me that you work with kids as well. How is that? And did you kind of picture yourself doing that like after school, or did it kind of just like happen?
No, I love the kids. Right, that's crazy. As you know, Rob, I was always either in the principal office or suspended. So I can never see myself working with kids. But then when you get older, you realize the things that you did is what you do to like help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the things you've been through is what you can help with now. So I do work with kids and behavior side of things, and education. So I never saw me doing that because I was the one getting in trouble. But now I'm that old guy trying to talk some sense into him.
Man, that's crazy. The way you just put that was powerful. You said things that you did or went through is kind of like how you can help people now. I think that's why I'm so big on finance. I think that's why, like, I from my experience and having a hard life coming up, it made me want to help people understand money better. I can kind of correlate that with what you were just saying. Now, I know you met J-Do. It sounds like we might have came across J-Do around the same time. I might have knew him maybe slightly before you or slightly after you. So the connection here, of course, the banking bros, that's Jonah, J-Do. And then I kind of came along and with that as well. The Cash Compound was first formulated, which is our agency. Okay, that's how we go about helping people with infinite banking. And it's more so an educational platform is what the Cash Compound is. But we are agents that help people with infinite banking being whole life insurance designed for banking. And the infinite banking concept was coined and termed by none other than R. Nelson Nash here inside of his book, Become Your Own Banker. And we do suggest that you get the 5th edition. So that's my connection with J-Do. That's how we came across each other. We're business partners, and we're also practitioners of the same wealth strategy. How did you come across J-Do?
J-Du's my guy. He's my low-key mentor.
Gotcha.
But like I always tell my guys, because I just remember I have a group of friends when I first was rocking with like had that connection with J-Do.
That voice sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It does. That's J-Do.
That's J-Do in the other room right
that's
now.
That's crazy. On a personal level, it was like kind of like one of the moments where you meet your idol. You know what I'm saying? In a way. So I was like super excited about it. J-Do. So now they be like, man, like you my friends be asking like, you still talk to J-Do? I be like, not really. But I learned it. I'm like, yo, as you get older, I realize like, you know how people can be in your lives for seasons. Like you really have to really appreciate the knowledge and what said person told you or gave to you in that moment, and don't think about or worry about why we not talking every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, what did you get in that moment, in that time that person could spend? Because J-Du's the type of person, he's here, there. He's, his schedule is crazy. So I came about, to answer your question, I grew up going to Greenville Drive games, and that was where J-Du got his start and what he does. Yeah. So J-Du was always like, for the fans, he would hype up the crowd and get the crowd engaged. And as a kid going to baseball games, that was something we looked forward to, was seeing J-Du. And then later in life, I would go to Clemson basketball games, and J-Du was also there at hosting the games on the microphone. And one day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go introduce myself to him. So I literally walked down. I don't know how I got baseline. No security stopped me or nothing. But I was like, AJ dude,
You would step in that court.
Yeah, I stepped in the court. I was like, AJ dude, what's good? And I just chopped it up with him and told him what I just said. I was like, man, I grew up watching you at Greenville Drive, and I said I'm interested in doing kind of something similar to what you do. And he was like, all right, come shadow me. So we exchanged numbers, and he came through. I hit him up, and he invited me to a Clemson basketball game. Came and shadowed him. Then we went out for lunch. He gave me some nuggets, mentored me. That's how we met.
Man, that's what's up, dude. I have like a little bit of similar story, but like I was kind of like a mosquito at a cookout or whatever, like so or a fly or however they say it, right? So like I had came across Infinite Banking. We have the same mentor in terms of Brent Kessler. Brent Kessler started. He's the general agent for the Money Multiplier, and we kind of are under that umbrella. So you got the Money Multiplier, you got the Cash Compound, and the Banking Bros. So we're under that same umbrella. And so I talked to Brent. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm reading the book or whatever. I see that you were in Greenville, South Carolina when this was written, so on and so forth. He's like, yeah, the Banking Bros, Jonah and Jeremiah, they're in Greenville, South Carolina with you as well. I'm like, okay, man, if you think you can put them in touch with me, I like to be around some like-minded individuals. And, of course, Infinite Banking is not something that's a barbershop conversation. So I needed to get around some people that understood what was going on. And to speak to your what you were saying, like you was like kind of like the idolization of it. Drake said this on the song. That's right, when your idols become your rivals. So for me is that, and I hope that you're moving into this point too, is that when I saw J Do, it was a wild moment for me too. But the number one thing was, especially when it started getting into like the speaking engagements and stuff like that, number one thing I would be thinking about is like, I gotta do it better than him. I'm gonna do it better than him. Just wait till I get the chance. I'm gonna do it better than him. And it's not about necessarily being better, but it was like I understood that, man, if I can take all of what I'm seeing right now and just try to give it like a new feel or something like that, like I can be just as great as this. And so that's something that he pushed me towards too. I'm not the banking bro or banking bro Rob anymore. I'm the better investor. I have my own lane. I have my own. When I first came across them, I already had better investments. So it's like they wanted me to continue in that way. Don't be a copy of us. Be original for yourself, and so that's one thing I love about, like I said, is especially with J Do, like you were saying, in terms of having a mentor. Your mentor doesn't always have to be somebody that you personally know or you see them all the time. Robert Kiyosaki, I would say, is my first mentor outside of my granddad, but I've never seen Robert Kiyosaki in person. But I got his books. I watched the shows, the Rich Dad Radio channel. He got the podcast, so on and so forth, and so. That's what I love about
that's a great point.
It is, man. Point. It is, yeah.
I think it's a lot of people think they got to know or meet their mentors. Like, bro, no. Especially nowadays, your mentor can be virtual, somebody you never met.
Yeah, exactly. And they say you never want to meet your heroes. So, the thing about it is too, is just like thinking about it. When you're saying it and you got me thinking about the story is of how open he was. That's exactly what it was. I was bugging. I'm like, dude, you got to come sit down. You got to talk to me more about infinite banking. I got to understand this better. I got to know why is it that I know so much about finance and this was hard for me to come across or for me to grasp this concept. So we met over and over and over again. I could tell this guy was getting tired of me. So finally he's like, okay, you seem like you really like this. You really know, you have a lot of knowledge and raw material. You can come, we might need some help in what we do. And I jumped on it from there. I was like, because I was already kind of like pushing for that. I didn't know how. I just knew opportunity could come from it. You see what I'm saying? And then, so long and behold, I'm here. So I would say that to speak to anybody is that you have to take initiative in your life and you have to be purposeful in what you do. But yeah, man, he's an open book. J Do is great, and the thing I love about him the most is that he does not feel the need to hinder somebody else's success. He understands that competition is good, and more than one person can win. So that's why I love about J Do.
Facts.
Which brings me into a little bit more of the off the court moves. Yeah. So that's what that is what you're currently, kind of like how I'm hosting you now. You host off the court moves.
Right.
So dive into that a little bit and tell us a little bit about off the court moves.
Yeah, so for the last 2 episodes, I was sitting where you are, hosting it, and that's something that we do over at Endure Prosperity, which is a business, a company, and one of the things that we launched is a podcast called Off the Court Moves.
Gotcha.
So that's to highlight. It started out originally to highlight athletes and what they do off the court, and then once we got into season 2, we started to kind of do just not just athletes, but just business owners or people of substance. So the first year was virtual because it was like 2020.
Everything was virtual.
Yeah, everything was virtual. When we rocked out though, we still did it, and then we did the first in-person season last year in the city in Greenville, and that's just like to highlight business moves all like off the court. So that's how we came up with the name Off the Court Moves. And for you guys wondering, Indoor Pro is I stand as the COO of that company. It's a full service entertainment company. So literally, I just assist the CEO and make things come to life. And Off the Court Moves is one of those things. So this year we'll be looking to take me out of the hosting seat and put an actual interviewer in there and let it rock for season 3. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, I I don't see nothing wrong with you being in the seat, dude. I think it's good. I think
I'm trying to produce. I'm trying to
you want to be on the behind the camera.
I want to be
type
some
thing?
behind the camera type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to be like Will. I
want to be like Will and let an up and coming personality kind of get their feet wet.
Yeah, I think I understand that. We have a similar business structure here where I would say personality wise, that would be more like me and Jay do, and then everybody else kind of does the groundwork to make a lot of that stuff happen. So like in the future, I can see it to where I would be like this second personality. So Jonah is more of a he is good with marketing and really touching the points of what we need to be getting across to people, organization and so on and so forth. But if you're talking about like a good time, fun time, laughing, so on and so forth, TikTok live, so on, that's J Dude. And then for me, I go live on TikTok on the Cash Compound account. So I don't go on the Banking Bros account. I go under the Cash Compound account on TikTok, and I'll go live and talk about infinite banking and so on and so forth. And I'll do like, and you know, you already know kind of like how my personality is. So if I'm doing an event or something like that, it got to be a joke or something in there, right? But but yeah. So like I understand what you're saying. It's kind of just filling those roles where people fit best. Yeah, I got you, dude. I got you. And
for sure.
Kind of like, so that leads me into like wanting to know your goals, whether it's personal or what you're doing with Endure Pro and the business in terms of off the court moves. What are some of the goals that you have for yourself personally, and then also too strategically when it comes to business? What are some of those goals?
Man, I appreciate you for asking. I'm about to shout out my guy Al for this one. He's been putting me on this saying, and I've been kind of like utilizing it for recently. And he just says he has a lot of stuff in the vault right now. So I would say I got a lot of stuff in the vault right now. So currently, what I do, I'm in 2 industries. I would say education, which we talked about. I work with kids in a school setting, with for educational and behavior purposes. And then I would say I work in the sports industry, and that's what I do. So that was more so like my hobby/passion, which would be the sports industry.
Gotcha.
Which we all know we can make money from doing different things. So
yeah, your sister is making some money inside the sports industry right now.
For sure, she's in high places for sure. She's with the Atlanta Falcons right now, and doing some PR work, public relations stuff with the community and the players, and putting that two together. So it's kind of hard to not be connected. This is my sister, so trying to keep a good relationship with her.
You know what's crazy? That wouldn't be a bad person to look at, like interview style wise. It's like, yeah, Nicole's always had that. Because we're in the same grade, same age.
You mean for her to be like interviewer?
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
She's always been like journalistic.
She went to, that was her major in college, broadcast journalism.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, she just recently switched over to, I guess you would say, like the PR type stuff. But she has that involved for sure.
Yeah, I can see her doing that, like broadcasting some news or something. Like, yeah, we got a cold front coming in. I can see her doing something.
She's very nosy too, so she can get a story. She can get a story for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say just I have a lot of things in the vault as far as my goals, and just continue to work on education. I may or may not become a teacher. working on that. That's something that a decision that I'm gonna make here very soon with working at the school. I may go back to get my teacher's license, and then at the same time working as CEO at the company of Indoor Pro. Building on that, we're working on a lot of things, and letting that run its course. And then once that gets to where it needs to get, then I will be able to transition to doing that full time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and we'll be developing different departments, some apps and stuff like that within the company. So really just doing what I gotta do to get the income in right now before what I really want to do can launch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you always have to do what you have to do before you can do what you want to do in life. And honestly, when you do what you have to do, you build the skills that you need to be very, very effective and good at what you want to do. So the journey is the reward. Fall in love with the process. That's what I would tell anybody. Going past that is kind of coming into money, and I would have done a 3-coach setup. I didn't think to bring them in here beforehand. But I want to break down infinite banking.
Okay.
But first, I want you to tell me kind of how do you currently handle finances and stuff like so. So do you have like a strategy? What kind of things are you using? Some kind of product or systems? What are some of the things that you're putting money into, or how are you going about? Whether it's saving or investing, how are you kind of handling finances right now in your life?
For me right now, I would say I have, to be transparent, I have treadmill money. You ever heard of that?
You just keep chasing more? Is that the?
It's like almost like
rat race.
No, treadmill money is like in and out. Because when you get on a treadmill, you just.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got you.
They call it.
Yeah. In my head, I'm like, they call it in place.
No, they call it treadmill money. You see it and it's gone. It'll be right back. It's there again. And then it's gone. And then so I have treadmill money. So I have goals with.
It'll be back next Friday.
It'll be back. Yeah, it'll be back next Friday. So that's where my finances are right now. And I would say I'm at a. Would it be? I want to say I'm at a normal like financial state. I guess.
Do you use a 401k?
I don't. I use a bank account. I use a paycheck, and it goes in and out. And I have a savings. You know what I mean? I have a savings that I do for my bills and whatnot. And then that's how my finances are set up right now.
Killing me right now.
I'm being but you my guy Rob, so I'm on here. I'm being fully transparent about my finances. I really don't, some people kind of get like weird about that, but I don't mind sharing.
More so what I wanted to see is, do you have like an average American story? So the last person I interviewed is Jesse. He's here on our team as well, and Jesse was saying, yeah, man, we were just the average American family. This is how we started out. We had student loan debt, blah 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 blah. We just got married, so on and so forth. And he was talking about how infinite banking helped change his life and the trajectory of where he was going in his life.
I would say that's one thing that I do not have that my peers may have right now is like student loan, because I didn't go to college out of school, so that's one thing that I kind of dodged. It's the student loan. So
yes, yeah. So statistically, the average American could not handle a $500 emergency. I might have said this to you before.
You have.
And so I'm big on statistics and stuff like that, because I think it paints the picture for people numerically. I'm big on numbers, as you should know. So only about 25% of Americans can retire. Of those that retire, they retire with 10% or less of what they worked for over their working lives. So to put that into a number aspect, if you're a working American, you can spend probably anywhere between $1 to $2 million. Okay, and that means you're retiring with $200,000 or less. If you took $200,000 and let's say you retired at 60 or 65 and you lived to, let's say, 80, 85, over a 20-year stretch, you could only spend $10,000 a year. Rent right now is going to run you $1,000 and some change per month. So you're already on a fixed income, and then you would have to rely on Social Security and so on and so forth. If people understood, and I'm not going to go into all the nuances, but think about the numbers I just gave you. If, let's say, you worked and made $2 million in your lifetime. If you could keep half of what you actually made, you would have $1 million at retirement, right?
Right.
I think too many people focus on trying to invest for retirement instead of trying to save for retirement. Because a 401k is an investment account. An IRA is an investment account. A Roth account is an investment account. So everywhere people are talking about saving for retirement, no, they're investing. And that's why they're on this roller coaster with their wealth, and they don't actually know how their future looks. So they don't have a foundation to what they're doing, and they don't have a destination to where they're trying to end up at or where they're trying to go. The thing I love about infinite banking is that it's not about you working any harder or doing anything different from what you already do. It's about you using the money that you already use and how you spend it, spending it in a different way. So you can only spend money 3 different ways. And I'm sure this is what you've been doing up to this point in your life. You either swipe a credit card, you take a loan from the bank, or you're going to use cash. Now, all 3 ways you're going to lose that money. That's why the statistics show that you end up with 10% or less of your wealth. Mm-hmm. So the problem, as my mentor Jason Lowe would say, is that at its core, you're doing all the work. Everybody else is making all the money. So Walmart, the car people, so on and so forth, they end up with all your money. And naturally, that's how it's going to have to be, because you're going to always consume a lot more than you produce. That's so true. You might grow a garden, you might knit your own clothes, but for the majority of stuff in your life, you're always going to consume more than what you produce. So I think that I hate the idea, and you see it online all the time. They're either trying to get you to downsize or cut back, or they want you to go kill yourself and work extra hard so you can make a bunch of extra money. I think it's neither one. I think you need to spend money the way you want to spend it and enjoy your life. But you need to have a mechanism in how you spend your money. So if you have a technique to what you do, you can start to get more back from what you already spent. So if I said to you, hey, Nick, from this day forward, don't worry about paying any taxes. Don't worry about anything other than, you'll get your full income. Whatever it is you make, no taxes, no nothing. You'll get your full income. That would completely change the trajectory of your life, right? So here is, with the income that you already bring home, whatever the case is, what if I said, hey, between, and you're younger, but when I say this to most other people, it's like, yeah, dude, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. If you had half the money you spend your entire lifetime, and even now, if you had half the money you spend your entire lifetime up to this point, would you still be here right now in this room at this moment?
Definitely not.
Exactly.
I would not be here.
Exactly. And so the answer to that question, 99% of people are going to answer that question in the same way. And with that being said, it lets me know you don't have an investing problem. So why are you trying to go get a 401k, IRA, Roth account? Why are you thinking about mutual funds and all this stuff? I'm not saying that investing is not good. I got better investments. I'm teaching people how to trade and invest. I like to do day trading as well, right? That's not the issue. More so what I'm saying is, why is it that we're focused on trying to solve the wrong problem? So if you go to the doctor, they got to run some tests, they got to take your blood, all this good stuff, so they know if they give you the medicine and first they need to diagnose you, so they know the problem, then they can give you the medicine and the solution for that problem. Now, I'm not going to get into whether or not all the medicine is necessarily your solution, but in the analogy, that's what's needing to happen. People aren't diagnosing themselves correctly. So they're looking at their finance, they're looking at their problem. In reality, you need a banking system. That's your real issue, is that you need to keep more of the money that you already make. So if I take a loan from my policy, I go to Walmart, I buy a TV, come home, hang the TV up on my wall, I can choose how and when. Notice how I can control my financial environment. You don't have control over a credit card or a loan from the bank. Oh, I can choose how and when to pay myself back. And when I do pay myself back, I'll keep all the money that I pay back. And I still have the TV. Mm-hmm. Sir, did I lose money anywhere in that transaction?
No.
Exactly. That, over the next 20 to 40 years of your life, is going to separate you from 95% of people in America. Mm-hmm. So that's my spiel when it comes to infinite banking. And kind of, yeah, and at its core, like I always talk to the core concepts, because a lot of people want to get caught up in interest rates and all this other stuff, when the reality is, dude, you're already a part of a system that you don't even understand. So, like, you don't understand your 401k and how it works. You don't understand the Fed. You don't understand how taxes really work. You don't understand any of this stuff. So don't come into this concept and try to get the fullness of what it is When in reality, all the nuances doesn't matter if you don't understand what's at the core.
Well, I would ask, is there any interest rate?
What, on which one? On the money. So good question. So there's two. You get paid interest on your premium deposits that you would pay into your policy, unlike the bank. So when you make a deposit into the bank right now, they use your money to make more money. The bank doesn't just take your money, write your name on it, and put it inside of a nice little shoebox somewhere and wait for you to come back and get it.
They're investing it, yeah.
If you don't believe it, write your name on some cash. I know you've seen this before, where you got a dollar bill or something that had somebody's name on it or had something written on it.
I've seen that, yeah.
That's because that person actually thought that they would see that same dollar again. They're not. They'll never see it again. If they went and got a withdrawal, they got a fresh new $100 bill or something like that, or $100 from somebody else's account. It was not the money that they put into the bank. The bank is keeping the money flowing. The law of motion is how everything lives and grows. If the sun didn't come up, neither one of us would be sitting here right now.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying? So we need some motion. We need some activity, and I think that's what people miss out on is you need your money moving and working for you. So when we put it into the policy, it's going to grow with interest, and then from there, the growth is called the death benefit. All right? You're familiar with this, except you've been hearing about death insurance, where they tell you some big, huge number that you'll never get to see because you'll be dead. Dead people don't need Gucci, Louis, or Bless sweaters. You understand what I'm saying? So we need to be able to spend money now. Hence, whole life insurance allows you to build cash value, which is nothing but a loan. It's a stated value that you can take from the death benefit while you're alive. We take loans against our death benefit, but we have a banking system through whole life insurance. So the infinite banking concept, it took what whole life insurance was already doing. It was the Rockefeller method. You had other major wealthy families and players who already used this method, Walt Disney, so on and so forth. What they didn't have is the feasibility that we have today. So with the modern day banking system, you got almost instant transactions, so on and so forth. Well, not instant yet, but I'll say instant, but it's not real time. Real time is what we're moving into when it comes to CBDCs, which is central bank digital currencies, and the digital currencies that you're hearing about now in terms of, like, people call them cryptocurrencies. They're really digital assets. So with that being said, is they move and transfer value at the speed of light almost over the internet. So it's more feasible now. We can take loans within our first 3 weeks. A traditional whole life policy does not let you take a loan for the first 3 to 5 years. So we take loans within our first 3 weeks. We choose how and when to pay them back. We can take new loans regardless of if we pay back the old loans or not. And we can just keep taking new loans. And we, and of course, like I said, we keep all the money that we do pay back. So it makes sense to want to pay ourselves back because it's our banking system.
Yeah.
Right? So there's an interest rate attached to the money that you put in. There's an interest rate attached to the money that you're taking out. The difference is, and it's funny to me, it's mind-boggling when I hear this from people. Why would I pay interest to take my own money? And I'm like, this person doesn't understand. Like I said earlier, you don't even understand the system that you're currently a part of. You pay interest on your own money when you swipe a credit card. You realize that card is a virtual card that there is no cash on there. Nothing exists. This is all a computer algorithm. Right. This is all generated based on, so when you swipe it, that's when money comes into existence.
Right.
Before that, it did not exist. So when you swipe the credit card, now you have a balance, and the money became into existence. It's a part of the circulating supply of currency. From there, you're going to pay them back plus more. And they're going to keep all of what you pay back plus the interest. Same thing with a loan. That loan was not there before you went. It was not on the books until you said, I want to get this loan to get my Equinox or whatever the case is, right? Then you pay that back plus more. Here you have the opportunity to pay back the money that you took and interest and keep all of it. Why would you not want to do something like that?
And to keep all of it into your own policy. Yeah.
Into your own banking system.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. So, and also, too, if you take a loan instead of a withdrawal, notice how I keep saying loan?
Yes.
It's because we don't have to pay taxes.
I see. So
You don't pay taxes on loans. You never have and you never will because it's not income. What it is it's an obligation for you to pay something back.
Yeah. So
therefore, it's not income. So if I gave you a loan right now, as long as you could say it was a loan, You don't have to put that, or you can even show it on your taxes that it's a loan, and they're not going to tax you for it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. For sure.
Okay, so yeah, that's this is why, and this is why jobs offer you health insurance and so on and so forth. It's a tax write-off on their end. They're paying for your insurance. It's an expense to their business. They get to write that off. You can do this personally too if you own a business out there. So they get a tax deduction and write-off on their end. You would then that is being allocated. You're being compensated. That's going towards the allocation of your income. So what jobs got savvy and started doing is like, when the pension plans went out the window, which is a plan, it was a retirement plan that paid you for the rest of your life as long as you work for a company between 20 to 25 years. You could leave, go to another company, whatever. You still get a check for the rest of your life. That got replaced with 401ks, IRAs, all this good stuff. Nevertheless, long story short, is the benefits are there so that they don't have to give you a bunch of raises. Because if you got to go pay
I've never seen it that way. But
if you got to go get your health care, if you got to go get your life insurance, if you got to go get all this stuff individually, then it's like, they going to start wanting some more money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or we can do it for them, get it back on the back end on taxes, and we got some happy public relations. You know, you see what I'm saying? We have some happy customers. We have some happy people working for us. They know we care about them. You see what I'm saying? So on and so forth. So it helps in terms of retention. Coming into last but not least, I want you to talk a little bit about the Dreamers Expo. It is here inside of Greenville, South Carolina. Being that we all went to school together, I do want to bring some attention to it and support it as much as possible because I think it's important for us to value the people around us. So with you and Darion being a part of that, Nicholas Clax for the Brooklyn Nets, the center, and should have been Defensive Player of the Year in my opinion.
For sure.
Kind of got snubbed from that. But nevertheless is, we all went to Legacy. That's how we know each other. And so speak a little bit into the Dreamers Expo. What can people expect? What is it about? And more importantly, what are you looking to? What's the outcome of it that you're looking to get from that?
Yeah, so I would start with.
I know it's a 3-part question.
No, you good. I would start with what it is, and then that's kind of what the outcome is as well. It is as well. So, what it is this. What we just had. Honestly, we went to high school together, right? We did what we do. Found our way back, right? Now we're here on business and whatever it may lead to. And that's basically what the expo is going to be about, too. Being in the room with people you may know. And now you see each other in a different light. And now y'all can work together, help each other start a business. And then also meeting people that you don't know. And then, using them to help you. And then, gaining a mentor or a friend or a business partner. So it is a networking event in Greenville, South Carolina at the TD Convention Center, August 5th. So it'll be entertainers there, entrepreneurs, artists, small business owners, vendors. We'll have some performances, some guest speakers, and a keynote speaker as well. And Nick Clax, like as you mentioned, will be one of the guest speakers there as well. So and he'll be talking about his journey to the NBA and some of his off the court moves. So, and honestly, to wrap it all up, put a bow on it. It's like I said, it's the end goal will be for some months or a year later be like, man, Nick and Robert met each other at the expo and now he on his show, or now they doing a show together, or now he's interviewing them, and now they got this together, and now they got this business venture together. That the possibilities are endless. So you can actually get your tickets. You can go on Instagram at _Dreamers_Expo. Click the link and you can purchase some tickets right now. So they're live.
Got it.
I don't know when this will be out, but they should be live.
Yeah. So the links will be inside the descriptions. Man, like I said, dude, I don't want to keep you too long. I appreciate you coming out. I know you're in town. You might not be here for long before you go back to Minnesota.
I would like to share something about you real quick, though, man. This guy right here, I've been waiting so I can share this, is that, you were selling snacks in high school. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Nah, you're good.
But you were that guy. You were the snack guy in high school, so it just kind of, it's not even really ironic or funny that you're here right now. I think I wanted to just mention that. I thought that was cool to have a full circle moment because personally I think we were all like, me, I can speak for me, like, I'm getting money from my parents to give to you. You know what I mean? Like, but that's
a lot of people was though.
Right. That's my.
A lot of people.
I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
I'm getting in trouble where I'm worrying about making the basketball team, and so my pop's giving me a little money here or there for school, and I'm giving it to you. And it's just like, but look at who you are and what you grew up to be and who you are. It makes sense. Like, you're on a whole different frequency at that age, and my parents are working hard for their money to give to me that I'm giving to you. So I think we started and you mentioned like what you go through is when you're older. That's what you learn in life. It's what you can kick back and give back. So that's what it is.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you going back to my origins. I'm never going to be ashamed or any of that. Because
no, I only said it because you wasn't supposed to be doing that. So you
nah.
You got in trouble a few times.
We went to a healthy school. We had uniforms. We weren't supposed to be. I was definitely not supposed to be doing it. I got in trouble multiple times. Right? I had to. Sometimes I had 2 book bags. I would pass one off.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna walk around with this one. But they know to come check.
It came to a point where I think they just let it rock after a while, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is, I was smart. I was on. I always tell people in my head I was either gonna be like a kingpin, or I was gonna be a successful businessman. I'm trust me, I'm by far happy I took this route.
Sure.
So cause I get to help people for real. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't have to hurt people in my path to my success. I can help people. So with that being said though, is like I knew how the game needed to be run. We had such a rough lifestyle. At the same time I was selling snacks at school, I'm working 2 jobs. So I'm working KFC and working McDonald's at the same time.
Never knew that.
I get off from one, I go straight into the other one. So the lifestyle and what accompanied with that, and from our background, where we came from in terms of my family, I saw a lot of street activity, a lot of extracurricular activities, right? So for me, it was I knew how to play the game and the rules once, even inside of that school environment. Like I had 2 book bags. I would pass one off. You come stop me in the hallway. I don't got nothing but books in here, bro. I don't even sell snacks no more. You see what I'm saying? So I had meetup spots where I put it there, and you give me the money now, and it's gonna be there where I said it would be. Your Oreos and honey buns would be
right there.
Yeah, where I said it would be, and so on. So I had a system. I understood it, and so. For me, I understood that I could take that same thing and implement it in the real world in terms of starting a business and helping people and being an entrepreneur. And so I'm happy that I was able to be impactful on your life in that way. For sure. I appreciate it, man. Definitely. But yeah, I'll tell anybody I'm never going to run away from my origins and who I was, because at the end of the day, that's what made me who I am today, man. And I'm excited to be able to continue in what I do and help more people.
For sure.
So guys, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Continue to subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment, share the video, like the video, right? It helps the algorithm. We all know that. It's going to get more people to see what we do and what we're talking about and how we're trying to help people. This is financial education for everybody. All right. And so everybody needs financial education, because you're a part of the financial system. OK, you're a part of the banking system. If you notice, we talk about infinite banking a lot. Well, everybody's a part of the banking system, not everybody. Well, I'm sorry. Everybody's a part of the banking business. Not everybody has their own banking system. And so I think it's important for you to do that and take control of your finances, whether it's trading, investing, or banking. That's what we talk about, and that's what we do here at BI Academy. Thank you for tuning into the BI breakdown, and make sure that you do subscribe. Like I said, we're going to have that $100 giveaway when we reach 500 subscribers on this channel, and we're on our way. We're moving quick, so make sure you get in there. And of course, there's going to be more giveaways and more fun to come. So like I said, Nick, man, I appreciate it. There will be some links inside the descriptions. And until next time, I'll see you guys inside the next video.